Alright, we're back, and as you can see, what I've done here since the previous videos, I went ahead and there's two screws that holds the switch and speed coil into the base, and I removed those so that I could tighten up this screw here that's used as a tie point for one side of the line cord. And I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've done that. I used a 1/4 inch nut driver here to snug that up, and I'm also kind of looking over the head wire here a little bit where it was going through the hole in the base. As you can see, that it has some spots where the outer insulation is the overbraid is worn off, and you can see the 3 conductors inside. I don't see a place where that insulation is broken, but it's definitely cause for concern. Indicates this head wire does need replaced, and you can see how they've attached it here. When I do these, I use a new head wire, and I use a zip tie in place of these the string here that they used. But that's the way they would have done it, as you can see. And these are the stacks of the laminations on the choke coil that serves as the speed control. If you ever have to rewind one of these, the best way to do that is to take all this apart and clean up those laminations. This is what Mr. New City does, and that's how he did the speed and starting coil on the other fan. There's some wiring diagrams now on the fan page of my website under the Emerson section that will help you out if you're working on one of these fans. Rewiring it, need to know how it needs to go. So let me set you back down, set the camera back down, and I will reinstall the speed controller and wire up the temporary line cord. You can see I've tied an underwriter's knot into it. This cord is pretty dried out. I can see the weather cracking in it where I tied the knot, so it's definitely a temporary cord. I just want to see if this fan will run as it is. If it does, great. We'll go ahead and strip both this fan and the other fan that belongs to my friend down, and I'll have them sandblasted and powder coated all at the same time. I think I'll just go ahead and redo this one, even though it's not in too bad a shape. I might have to tear it apart anyway to rewire it. Might as well just go ahead and clean it up, make it nice. It's kind of marginal as is, so if you be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments on this. I'm sure a lot of people have different opinions on refinishing these fans. I like to try to save the original finish, but sometimes when it's too far gone, like that one is, then you might as well just go ahead and redo it. You'll thank yourself in the long run, I think. Although, like I said, the paint on the base on this fan really is in pretty nice shape still. So, okay, I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and I've got the switch back in there, and I'm ready to start putting this wiring on this cord back on. And so how this is set up is there's some brass washers and a nut, and you put the brass washer on there, and you take and wrap your wire around. And generally when I've been doing these, when I make them up permanently, I crimp on a ring terminal on there. It makes a much neater installation. It's much better. Oops. And this is a 3/8 inch, so we'll snug that up just tight enough to hold it. We'll do the same thing on this side. And if I strip the wire long enough, it should reach over there just fine. And I think this has only got one brass washer. This one. I don't know if Mr. New City still winds the speed coils or not, but I was extremely impressed with what I got from him for my for the 71666 fan you've seen in the other video, if you have watched that video. And that's not very good practice right here. That, see, there should be enough slack there that even with that pulled, it's not gonna be tight on that. But this is temporary. I want to see if the fan will run. Not, you know, this isn't a restoration. This is a test. Okay. Didn't find any, never find stuff when you want it. Some 632 screws and nuts there to hold the capacitor on. So in the next video I will put this all together and we'll stand the fan up and see if it runs.